Writing note in Bible study. Here I will use Shalom Bible study tool instead of paper and pen. Writing note on studying about themes or group of verses of the Bible. Here we'll gather group of verses about one idea and we'll study them. People use different styles on studying the themes of the Bible, therefore you can use your own style also. But I can show you my own style. On my style, the first step is choose a theme to study. The second step is list the verses you intend to study. Third step is ask questions and answer them from the verses listed. The questions can be WH questions. And the fourth step is write down your personal application. Now let's see on how to write notes on studying themes of the Bible or group of verses of the Bible. In the Home tab, in the Panes view group, click to the Notes pane. Okay, then I will select for the verse group notes. Salutation in Paul's epistles is my theme. I'll write the title, Salutation in Paul's epistles. Now I will collect the verses. Paul's epistles can be found in the First Corinthians. I'll check it. First Corinthians chapter 1 verse 1. I will add the verse. Also verse 2 and verse 3 are the same. They are the salutation. Verse 2, I will add. Verse 3, I will add. Okay, I can include also verse 4. Verse 5, it's no salutation, therefore I will continue to another verse. Let's see on the Second Corinthians. Also here, when I read the Second Corinthians, verse 1 up to verse 3, they are the salutation. Therefore, I will select Second Corinthians chapter 1, verse 1. And verse 1, verse 2, as well as verse 3. Verse 4 is not a salutation. Now let's continue for Galatians. In Galatians, verse 1 up to verse 5, it is salutation. Therefore, I will include all of them from verse 1 up to verse 5. Okay, let's continue now. After book of Galatians, how about in the book of Ephesians? There is salutation also in the book of Ephesians chapter 1, verse 1 up to verse 3. Let's continue also after Ephesians. There is Philippians. Also in the book of Philippians, the first 3 verses are salutation. It's better here. Okay, Philippians chapter 1, verse 1. Chapter 1, verse 2. In chapter 1, verse 3. Okay, after Philippians, let's check for Colossians. In Colossians chapter 1, from verse 1 up to verse 3, it is salutations. Therefore, I will include them. Colossians. The first Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 1 and verse 2 are included. Now let's continue on the second Thessalonians. Here also, verse 1 up to verse 3, they are included. In First Timothy chapter 1, verse 1 and verse 2 they are about salutation. I will include them. Let's see the last epistle of Apostle Paul is Philemon in chapter 1, verse 1 up to verse 4, they are salutation. I'll float it and I'll maximize it. These are the list of verses about salutations that I want to study. My theme is salutation in Paul's epistles. The verses collected are the verses collected. Okay, the first one is 1 Corinthians 1:1. There is adverse here. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 1. Okay, I will make new line. Next, 1 Corinthians 1:2. And I will make new line. I will add them one by one. I'm listing the content of the verses one by one by making a new line. I have done the two steps in writing notes for themes of the Bible. For example, in this theme, salutation in Paul's epistle, I choose a theme and I listed the verses with their contents here. Now I will continue to the third step, that is to ask questions and answer them. Questions. My first question is, what is common in the salutation? What is common in the salutation? Now I'll answer from the text. Okay, I'll read it one by one. What is common in between them? So common here in all salutations that I have read is, first there is name of the sender. Name of the sender. Or it can be the writer. Another is identity of the writer in Christ. Name of the receiver is also common in all of them. Another is the desire of grace and peace to the recipients. Can I ask another question? Yes, I can. What is the desire of the writer in salutation? What is the desire of the writer in the salutation? Here I will mention all the desires that is mentioned in the salutation. I will mention all the desires here. The first one is grace. Grace for Corinthians. Galatians. Ephesians. Colossians. Philippians. Thessalonians. Timothy. Titus and Philemon. Peace also the same. Mercy for Timothy and Titus. Can I ask another question? After I read the verses. Okay, what is the difference between the salutations in the epistles? This is my third question. What is the difference between salutations in the epistles? I'll try to answer this question. In all of them, what I have observed is, in all of them there is the writer thanked, glorified, and blessed God in the salutation, except in First Timothy and Titus. That's one difference that I have observed. Okay, is there any other difference? Also, there is. In some of them, the writer mentions the relationship between the recipients. Can I apply this term to my life? How can I apply it? Now I'll write my personal application. I can apply this one when I am writing a letter. I write a letter to my friend Rick about what I have learned from the study of the Book of Ruth. In the beginning of the letter, I will write my name of the recipient, with the expression of my desire of grace, peace, and mercy, as well as to glorify God. That's my personal application. I have finished it now. This is my notes.